Low-pass RC filter analysis. Analysis of a simple passive low-pass filter. Voltage signals often contain unwanted noise at certain frequencies, usually high frequencies, that we need to suppress or attenuate. This can be accomplished with simple circuits, using only resistors, inductors, and capacitors. We call these RLC circuits. In this video and future videos, we'll analyze and explain first-order low-pass filters, high-pass filters, band-pass filters, and band-stop filters. Then we'll look at some second-order low-pass filters. All the filters we discuss here are passive, meaning that they don't contain operational amplifiers or op-amps. We will discuss those in future videos. Here are some basics about filters. Consider a filter between an input signal and an output signal. We define the gain as the ratio of the magnitude of the output to the magnitude of the input, or G equal V out magnitude over V in magnitude. This magnitude is also the peak voltage. 2 times it would be the peak-to-peak voltage. Gain is not constant across these filters, but is a function of frequency and ranges from 0 to 1. We categorize a filter by its frequency response diagram, a plot of gain versus frequency. Passband is defined as the range of frequencies that pass through without any kind of attenuation or reduction in amplitude. Stopband is the range of frequencies that do get attenuated by the filter. Shown here is an ideal low-pass filter. Low frequencies pass through unaffected with a gain of 1. There's a sudden cutoff, and then high frequencies are completely removed. The gain is 0. Real filters do not have such a sudden change from passband to stopband. Rather, there's a more gradual roll-off, as shown here on linear scales and on log-log scales. Log-log plots are typically preferred. Filters are classified according to their pass bands. A low-pass filter lets low frequencies pass. A high-pass filter lets high frequencies pass. A band-pass filter lets a range of frequencies pass. And a band-stop filter attenuates a range of frequencies. Let's now discuss in detail a first-order low-pass filter, which we construct from some resistor and some capacitor, and measure the voltage across the capacitor. We assume a sinusoidal voltage or an AC voltage. In particular, we'll let it be a pure cosine wave, and for simplicity, let's let the phase shift be 0 for the input voltage. Here's the physical voltage, and here's its phasor representation, which we discussed in a previous video. This is the general expression, but we're letting phi be 0 here, so the phasor ends up being a real number, just the magnitude of V in. V in with the absolute value signs is the peak amplitude of the input voltage. Output voltage V out is measured by a device like a voltmeter or oscilloscope, which is assumed to have nearly infinite impedance. That means it's non-intrusive. In other words, V out is unaffected by anything that happens outside of this circuit. I redrew the circuit to reveal that it's similar to a voltage divider, which we previously analyzed. We used the same equation for output voltage that we got previously with 2 resistors for a voltage divider. But now with a resistor and a capacitor, we use the same equation but with impedances instead of resistances. We know the impedance for a capacitor and for a resistor, and we can reduce this to this equation. I don't show all the algebra. We did the standard trick with complex variables, where you multiply and divide by the complex conjugate of the denominator, so that you can separate the real and imaginary parts. The magnitude of the output voltage phasor is calculated as the square root of the sum of the squares of the real and imaginary components. Dude, that reminds me of the Scarecrow's famous line in The Wizard of Oz. Yes, I suppose it does, Joe. You do realize that he said that wrong in the movie. No, I didn't know that, man. Check it out. Will do. After some algebra, we get this equation for the magnitude of V out. And we define the corner frequency or cutoff frequency or break frequency as omega equal 1 over RC for this simple RC circuit. And note that these are angular or radian frequencies. The physical cutoff frequency has the factor of 2 pi. Thus we can write the gain of our low-pass filter in terms of either omega over omega cutoff or f over f cutoff. Now I introduce a phasor diagram. Recall that phasor Z is made up of a real and imaginary component. We plot the real part on the horizontal axis and the imaginary part on the vertical axis. And we treat the phasor like a vector with a magnitude and an angle, which turns out to be the phase shift, which we've called phi. You can see from the diagram that phi is the arc tangent of the imaginary part over the real part. Using the equations I just derived, we can get an expression for phi, which I simplify using a trig identity. This is now the phase shift of the output voltage. Recall that our input voltage had no phase shift, but when we go through the low-pass filter, the output voltage has both a gain and a phase shift. Now let's analyze the behavior of this first-order low-pass filter for both DC and AC signals. For a DC signal, omega is 0 by definition. Therefore, the gain is 1 and there's no phase shift. An ideal low-pass filter does not affect a DC signal. Consider a very low-frequency AC signal. If omega is small compared to omega cutoff, the gain is still approximately 1, although it'll be smaller, like 0.99 something, and phi will be very small as well. So low-frequency signals pass through without much effect. Suppose we're right at the cutoff frequency. If you plug in f equal f cutoff, or omega equal omega cutoff, it turns out that the gain is 1 over the square root of 2, and phi is negative arctangent of 1, which is negative pi over 4. So right at the cutoff frequency, the gain is about 70.7%, and the phase shift is exactly negative 45 degrees. Note that since this phase shift is negative, we say that the output signal lags the input signal. Now consider a very high frequency AC signal, where omega is very big compared to omega cutoff. In that case, the gain approaches 0, and the phase shift approaches negative pi over 2 radians. Signals of very high frequency are almost completely attenuated, and the phase shift asymptotes to negative 90 degrees. When AC signals pass through a low-pass filter, the output voltage is smaller since the gain is less than 1, and the output lags the input. This is often confusing, so let me explain that lag means the output peak occurs at a later time. So on a time plot, the output curve shifts to the right of the input curve, since its peak, or its zero crossing, occurs at a later time. There are useful plots called Bode plots, where we plot gain and phase shift as functions of frequency. I'll use f over f cutoff instead of f to make the plots non-dimensional. I put a vertical red line for the location where f is equal to f cutoff. The gain plot is typically log-log, as I mentioned previously, but the phase plot is what we call linear log. This is also confusing. Linear log, also called semi-log, means that the vertical axis is linear and the horizontal axis is logarithmic, kind of opposite to what you might think. The gain on this log-log plot asymptotes to a line at high frequencies, and the phase shift asymptotes to negative 90 degrees at high frequencies. Now let's do an example problem. Suppose unwanted noise at 1000 Hz appears in a signal which is 10 Hz. We want to get rid of or attenuate that high frequency noise. Suppose our goal is 95% attenuation. In other words, G is 0.05. Suppose we have a 0.1 microfarad capacitor. Let's calculate the cutoff frequency that's needed and the value of the resistance to be used. We'll use a simple first-order low-pass RC filter, as we've been discussing. We start by setting G equals 0.05 and solving for f cutoff when f is 1000 Hz, the noise that we want to get rid of. Here's our equation for G, which you can solve for f cutoff. I get 50.063 Hz, which is our first answer. Now we can calculate the required resistance, since we know f cutoff and C. We get R equal 31.8 kiloohms. to 3 digits. This is our other answer. I put all this in Excel so that I could compare a plot of input voltage and output voltage. The input is in blue and you can see the wiggles due to the high frequency noise. The output is in red and it's much smoother. The noise is nearly suppressed. The amplitude is down by a factor of 20. So our simple first order RC filter has done its job. Notice also that the output lags the input. That's because phi is negative as predicted. Thus the output trace shifts to the right, as we've discussed. In summary, we've discussed some basic filter terminology. We did a detailed analysis of a first-order low-pass filter, where we generated equations for gain and for phase shift, and we defined the cutoff frequency. We introduced Bode plots and phasor diagrams, which are useful in this kind of analysis. And finally, we worked through kind of a design problem, where we had to design the simple RC circuit that would attenuate high-frequency noise from a signal. The time traces confirmed that our simple filter did its job. Thank you for watching this video. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel for more videos. 1, 2, 3. That's all there is to it.